The shrill of the cell phone jerked Fiona awake in the driver's seat. She lurched forward, bracing her palms on the wheel, staring into the blackness of the windshield. She blinked, focused. Had she fallen asleep? She'd parked on the gravel shoulder of Old Barons Road, she remembered, so she could sit in the unbroken silence and think. She must have drifted off. The phone rang again. She swiped quickly at her eyes and glanced at it, sitting on the passenger seat where she'd tossed it. The display glowed in the darkness. Jamie's name and the time, 3 o'clock in the morning. It was the day Deb would have turned 40 if she'd still been alive. She picked up the phone and answered it. "Jamie," she said. His voice was a low rumble, half asleep and accusing on the other end of the line. "I woke up and you were gone." "I couldn't sleep." "So you left? For God's sake, Fee, where are you?" She opened her door and swung her legs out into the chilly air. He'd be angry, but there was nothing she could do about that. "I'm on Old Barons Road. I'm parked on the shoulder at the bottom of the hill." Jamie was quiet for a second, and she knew he was calculating the date. Deb's birthday. "Fee." "I was going to just go home. I was." She got out of the car and stood, her cramped legs protesting, the cold air slapping her awake and tousling her hair. She walked to the edge of the road and looked up and down, shoving her free hand into the pocket of her windproof jacket. Back the way she'd come, she could see the road sign indicating 30 miles to Burlington and the washed-out lights of the 24-hour gas station at the top of the hill. Past the hill, out of her sight, she knew there was the intersection with the North Road, with its jumble of fast-food restaurants, yet more gas stations, and a couple of hopeful big-box stores. In the other direction, ahead of the car's hood, there was only darkness, as if Old Barons Road dropped off the face of the earth. "You didn't have to go home," Jamie was saying. "I know," Fiona replied, "but I was restless, and I didn't want to wake you up, so I left and I started driving. But then I started thinking." He sighed. She could picture him leaning back on the pillows, wearing an old t-shirt and boxer shorts, the sleek muscles of his forearm flexing as he scrubbed a hand over his eyes. He was due on shift at 6:30. She really had been trying not to wake him. "Thinking what?" "I started wondering how much traffic there is on Old Barons Road in the middle of the night. You know, if someone parked their car here and left it, how long would it be before someone drove by and noticed? The cops always said it wasn't possible that Tim Christopher could have left his car here for so long, unseen, but they never really tested that, did they?" And there it was, the ugly thing, the demon coming to the surface, spoken aloud, the thing she'd become so good at keeping buried. The idea had been niggling at her for days as Deb's birthday approached. She'd tried to be quiet about it, but tonight, as she'd lain sleepless, her thoughts couldn't be contained. "This isn't healthy," Jamie said. "You know it isn't. I know you think about your sister a lot. I know you mourn her. But actually going to Idlewild, that's different, Fee." "I know," Fiona said. "I know we've been over this. I know what my therapist used to say. I know it's been 20 years. I've tried not to obsess about this, I swear." She tried to keep the pleading from her voice, but it came out anyway. "Just listen to me, okay?" "Okay," he replied. "Shoot." She swallowed. "I came here, and I parked by the side of the road. I sat here for," she checked her watch, 30 minutes. 30 minutes, Jamie. Not a single car passed by, not one. By her calculations, she'd been here for 45 minutes, but she'd been asleep for 15, so she didn't count those. He could have parked here and done it. The field at Idlewild Hall is only 10 minutes through the trees. He would have had plenty of time. On the other end of the line, she heard Jamie breathe. They'd been together for a year now, a fact that still surprised her sometimes, and he knew better than to say the usual empty words. "It doesn't matter. This won't bring her back. He's already in prison. It was 20 years ago. You need to move on." Instead, he said, Old Barrens Road wasn't the same in 1994. The old drive-in was still open on the east side of the road. It didn't do much business by the 90s, but kids used to party there, especially around Halloween.